The movie starts and we see a child named Henry, who is going home with his mom on Christmas night. On the way, their car gets out of control and we can see fear in the eyes of both Henry and his mom. But then something very strange happens. We see that Henry seems to be missing, as if he is teleporting somewhere. His mom is shocked to see this. Henry has actually teleported. He goes back 15 days in time, where he teleports to his house and his clothes disappear. He sees his mom and dad along with the past version of himself. Before he can understand anything, he starts teleporting again. This time, he teleports to the place where his car was losing control. But now, Henry is outside the car, and he watches his mom die in front of his eyes. Then a man approaches Henry, gives him clothes and says, "Don't worry, I am your future version. You have the ability to teleport to the past or future at any time. And when this happens, your clothes don't teleport with you. So whenever this happens, don't worry. As you grow up, you will understand everything yourself." Now the scene shifts and we see adult Henry, who teleports to a library. Henry has grown up, but he still has the same problem. He teleports anywhere without clothes. As Henry is leaving the library, he meets a girl named Claire, who knows him, but Henry doesn't recognize her. Claire tells him, "You have met me many times through time travel." Henry is surprised and confused, as he doesn't remember ever meeting Claire. Claire asks him to meet her in the evening, saying she will explain everything then. Henry agrees and goes to meet her that evening. During their meeting, Claire explains, "When I was 6 years old, you met me for the first time. After that, I met you many times." Henry doesn't believe her, so Claire shows him a diary. In the diary, she had written the dates of the days when she met Henry. Claire tells him, "I last met you when you were 18 years old. Since then, I've wanted to meet you again." After that, Claire takes Henry with her, and they grow closer to each other. She tells Henry about the first time they met. Claire explains, "When I was 6 years old, you teleported to me. You told me that you could teleport, and that you would come to meet me again. At first, I didn't believe you, but then you started teleporting in front of me, and that's when I started believing you." During this time, Henry starts sharing everything about himself with Claire. He talks about how his mom was killed in front of him and how, despite time traveling, he was unable to change past events. He explains that he can't alter what has already happened. Later, Claire introduces Henry to her friend Gomez and his partner. Initially, Gomez doesn't like Henry, but after some time, Henry encounters Gomez fighting someone in a strange situation.
"Maybe we can be friends in the future. I will come again on Tuesday. Can you give me clothes on Tuesday? But I didn't believe you at that time. But when you disappeared in front of me, then I believed you that you were telling the truth." Now both of them are intimate with each other in the present time. Actually, Claire always loved Henry, and now she is in a relationship with Henry. Claire has a best friend named Gomez. She introduces Henry to Gomez and his girlfriend. Gomez always has a doubt on Henry. And one day, Gomez sees him fighting on Henry's street. When he goes to him, he sees that he is wearing women's clothes. Gomez doesn't understand anything. Henry takes him with him and tells him that I am a time traveler. Gomez doesn't believe what he says, but the next moment he disappears in front of his eyes. After which, Gomez believes that Henry was telling the truth, and he is very worried about his friend Claire. He goes to Claire and says that you should not be in a relationship with Henry. He is not an ordinary person. He is very strange. Claire says that I know that he's a time traveler. When I was 6 years old, I met him for the first time, and now I love him very much. I know that this relationship is very complicated, but I am ready to pay any price for this relationship. The same is shown to Henry, who travels through time. In the past, he goes in a train where he sees his mother. He talks to her and says that my name is Henry. His mother says that I have a 3-year-old son. His name is also Henry. Henry does not tell his mother the truth about himself, and he says that I am a big fan of your singing. After this, he gets off the train. Actually, he is very disturbed because of his time travel. But today he is very happy to meet his mother. He travels through time and comes back to Claire's time, where he meets his father and says that I am going to marry Claire. After this, he goes to Claire. Soon the day comes when they are getting married. And on the wedding day, when everyone is waiting for Henry, Gomez goes to his room to pick up Henry. But he sees that there are only his clothes there. He understands that he has teleported himself again. At the same time, Henry comes from the window. But this Henry is not of this time. In fact, he has come here from the future. Because some of his hair are also white. And now the Henry from the future wears clothes and goes to the place where Claire is. Both of them get married. Although Claire knows that this Henry has come from the future, but it doesn't matter to her, because she is married to Henry, even if this Henry has not come from the future. And now both of them are married. After marriage, both of them are very happy, although Henry still travels time many times. He disappears for many days, but both of them have become used to this. One day, Claire invites her friend Gomez and his girlfriend for dinner. Henry is also at home, who is very badly injured. That means he is going to die. They want to ask him what happened to you. But before he could say anything, he teleports again. And now both Henry and Claire understand that Henry is going to die soon in the future. Claire tells him that whenever you have traveled time and come to me, you are never more than 40 years old. This means that at the age of about 40 years, Henry is going to die. Henry tells Claire not to worry. I will somehow save myself in the future. And Henry knows that he cannot do this even if he wants to. He cannot change the events that will happen in the future. After a few days, Henry finds out that Claire is pregnant. That means he is going to be a father. And soon his wife, that is Claire, gets miscarried. Henry understands that the powers he has to travel time were also in his child. That's why he traveled time before he came into this world, because of which he died. And now Henry is very upset. That's why he meets a doctor and tells him everything about himself. After which, the doctor puts him in a machine to scan his entire body. Henry travels time inside the machine many times. And now, after the doctor scans his entire body, he tells Henry and Claire that the power to travel time inside Henry is due to his genes. The genes also go into his child. That's why you get miscarried again and again. In fact, because of repeated miscarriage, Claire gets very disturbed. Henry considers himself responsible for this. That's why he gets his operation done. After which, he can never be a father. Claire is very upset with him for this, because she wants to be a mother. But now she can't be a mother. At night, the two of them sleep in separate rooms. That's when Claire's phone rings. And when she receives the phone, it's Henry from the past. He asks for help from her. And now Claire goes to him. An idea comes to Claire's mind here. Because this Henry has come from the past. That's why she can get pregnant with him. Claire becomes intimate with him. And after that, when she comes home, she tells Henry everything. How I became intimate with your past form. And now I can be a mother. After a few days, she gets pregnant. Even after many months, Claire doesn't have a miscarriage. Claire is very happy, but Henry is upset because he is afraid that anything can go wrong now. And that's when he goes to the washroom, where he teleports again. After that, he finds himself in a zoo. After stealing clothes from there, when he goes out, he hears a voice from behind. Dad. And when he turns around and sees, there is a girl there, who is calling him Dad. Henry understands that he has become a father. That means his child was born in a safe past. Henry is very happy to see his daughter. He talks to her a lot. His daughter says that, I have the power to time travel like you. But with the help of doctors, I have succeeded in controlling this power to a great extent. And it is possible that in the future, I will be able to control it completely. And never time travel. Hearing this, he is very happy that it is possible that in the future, his daughter does not face problems like him. Now he asks where your mom and dad are at this time. That means he is asking about himself and Claire. His daughter says that when I was 5 years old, you died. Hearing this, Henry and his daughter become sad. Henry travels back in time once again and comes back to Claire. He tells Claire that you don't have to worry. Our daughter will be there. We don't have to think about her name, because his daughter had already told him her name, which is Alba. But he does not tell Claire that when his daughter Alba will be 5 years old, then she will die. Soon a girl is born in his house, whose name he calls Alba. Slowly 5 years pass. Henry spends most of his time with his daughter and his wife Claire. Today is his daughter's birthday. Henry knows that he is going to die soon. Claire and Henry are watching their daughter outside, who is roaming with a big girl. Henry tells Claire that this is the image of Alba's future who has come to meet her. The image of Alba's future tells the 5-year-old Alba that on the coming Christmas Day, our father will die. Because of which, the 5-year-old Alba becomes very sad, and she comes inside the house and tells this to Claire. And now Claire, Henry, and Alba all know that Henry will die on Christmas Day. And now Christmas Day comes. Claire knows that Henry is going to die today. She tells Henry that I love you very much. Every moment spent with you, I enjoyed a lot. I will always remember those moments. And then Henry teleports from here. He reaches a snowy jungle where there's a deer in front of him. Some hunters shoot to hunt it. And by mistake, that bullet hits Henry, after which he starts time traveling very quickly, and reaches that place too. Here he once showed it to Claire, Henry, and his 2 friends. But before he could tell them anything, he would have teleported again. And now he comes to his present, where Henry is in front of Claire on Christmas Day. He is taking the last breath of his life, and he dies in front of Claire. And now Claire and Alba are alone. Years pass by. One day, Alba is playing with her friends. That's when Henry comes there. Alba is very happy to see her dad, and tells her friends to tell my mom that my dad has come back. When Claire finds out about Henry, she runs to him. She hugs Henry and asks him, "Why didn't you tell me that you have met your daughter in the future?" Henry says, "I didn't want you to wait for me. You will have to live your life now. Maybe this is our last meeting." And after that, he disappears from here again. After which, Claire picks up Henry's clothes and leaves for home with her daughter Alba. It is possible that Henry has time traveled to meet his daughter and Claire in the future.